Restorative justice is a system of addressing wrongdoing that focuses on repairing the harm caused by the offence, rather than simply punishing the offender. It seeks to bring together the affected parties, including victims, offenders, and the community, to collectively find solutions that promote healing and accountability. This approach emphasizes dialogue, understanding, and mutual agreement to address the needs of all involved, aiming to restore relationships and foster a sense of justice. Restorative justice has roots in indigenous cultures around the world, where community-based conflict resolution was common. Many societies used practices like peacemaking circles or mediation to resolve disputes and maintain harmony. Modern restorative justice began gaining attention in the 1970s as an alternative to traditional legal systems. Scholars and practitioners sought to address the limitations of punitive approaches and revive methods that focused on healing and community involvement. Today, restorative justice is recognized globally and integrated into various legal and educational systems. One key characteristic of restorative justice is its emphasis on inclusion. Unlike traditional systems that often isolate offenders, restorative justice involves all stakeholders in the resolution process. Victims are given a voice to express their experiences and needs, while offenders take responsibility for their actions. Another defining feature is its focus on dialogue. Restorative justice encourages open communication between the affected parties, often through facilitated meetings. This dialogue fosters empathy and understanding, which are essential for meaningful resolution. Additionally, restorative justice prioritizes accountability and reparation. Offenders are encouraged to acknowledge their wrongdoing and actively work to repair the harm caused. This may include apologies, restitution, or community service, depending on the agreement reached by all parties. Now let's look at some examples of restorative justice in action. One common example is victim-offender mediation. In this process, a trained mediator facilitates a meeting between the victim and the offender, allowing them to discuss the impact of the crime and agree on steps for restitution. Another example is community conferencing. This approach involves a broader group, including community members, who come together to address the harm caused by the offence and decide on appropriate actions to repair it. This is often used in schools or neighbourhoods. A third example is restorative justice circles. Participants sit in a circle and take turns speaking, guided by a facilitator. This format is often used to address conflicts in workplaces, schools, or small communities, creating a space for equal participation and mutual respect. Restorative justice differs significantly from retributive justice, which focuses on punishment. In retributive systems, the primary goal is to impose penalties on the offender, often through fines, imprisonment, or other forms of punishment. In contrast, restorative justice aims to repair harm and rebuild relationships, emphasizing healing over retribution. Another comparison can be made with distributive justice, which centers on fairness in the allocation of resources or opportunities. While distributive justice addresses systemic inequalities, restorative justice focuses on resolving specific instances of harm and conflict, often at an interpersonal level. Finally, restorative justice also differs from procedural justice, which emphasizes fairness in the legal process itself. Procedural justice ensures that laws are applied consistently and that individuals receive fair treatment. Restorative justice, however, goes beyond procedural fairness to address emotional and relational aspects of wrongdoing, providing a more holistic resolution